Hey guys, welcome to Moose's Machinery. Now, this is the last video on our V block series. This is just chamfering them, and I've made these pretty dang close to the same size in every single direction. So, I'm going to show you a very easy way to chamfer all of the faces that I care about putting a chamfer on without using a DRO and without making life harder than it needs to be. Now, this works, again, because these guys are within really about, 1/8,000ths of an inch in every direction. That kind of just happened to be how they worked out. I wasn't really worried about height, width, or anything else in these just because of how I use them. And I already have an accurate set of V blocks. So we're just going to touch off. And I'm going to cut until I feel like I have a good amount of chamfer cosmetically. We're not going to really worry about chamfer dimension. Now, there are ways to do that, but I'm not really in the mood to do math for you guys as much as I like you. And we want to really, quote-unquote, give her the beans. So I'm going to run my head at full speed, which is all of 2,800 RPM. Which really isn't all that high speed. It's actually quite a bit slow for these chamfer mills. Fortunately, you just can't move the tables that quick. And you see we've got that tucked up nice and high just because it's a very small cutter. I don't want any deflection. Now that's a really nice, tidy chamfer already. And all we've got to do is just keep turning the blocks. And again, because this is a non-critical feature, guys, we're not going crazy with worrying about a repeatable setup. This is just a cosmetic feature. And these guys are shorter height-wise than they are tall. So we're getting a little bit less chamfer on the bottom, but that's not a big deal. As much as anything, this is just to break that burr. I do just like to seat them out of habit, because if they pop out when I'm hitting them with a hammer, I know they're not seated all the way. And also, a good habit to get into is not putting your hand near a spinning end mill. At least shut it down. Now, with how small this is, I know I'm not going to be able to really reach in there and hurt myself, but it's a good thing to just be a little aware of. Don't be completely careless with. And also remember, I mean, you've got two hands. You can be doing two things at once. You'll see how I'll open the vise once these are clear of the cutter, just so that I can get these in and out a little bit quicker. Now, does it really make a difference in the grand scheme of things? No, but I do like being productive and efficient. You know, the faster I can get stuff done, really the more money you can make, and the more money you can make in an hour, the quicker you can go home, take a nap on the couch. I also don't like opening the vise more than I need to, just because now you'll see I'm putting a very light chamfer on these. I know there's a lot of folks on YouTube who like really heavy chamfers. I don't think they really make anything work better. And I don't really care about looks. This makes them feel better. And they're less likely to cut you. And it also does protect the edges a little bit from potential damage. So we are almost done, guys. How long has this video been? 8 minutes? Yeah, you see, a lot of these tasks don't have to take that long. I think, really, I'm going to give this bottom chamfer one more pass. I do want it to kind of match. If we're going through the trouble of putting these on, putting chamfer on all of these, let's at least make it look nice and even. Yeah, I mean, this is a fairly relaxing task to do, all things considered, because it's low precision. And I think also you'll see here, I believe a lot of people overcomplicate jobs using the digital readout. So one of the advantages to not taking things in and out of the vise is you do get better squareness on all of the features done in the same setup relative to each other. But sometimes it is faster to just pull things in and out. There's less setup, planning. There's no dealing with the digital readout. You don't have to worry about offsets. All I've got to do is set it up once and just make a pass, make a cut. You'll also see I have no concerns about climb milling with this size cutter, because there is not a chance in the world this is going to have enough grab on parts to damage anything. I would really eat my shirt if this grabbed hard enough. This little 1/4-inch chamfer mill grabbed hard enough to damage the machine. You might break it, but So here we are, guys. This is one of them finished. You see we're nicely chamfered. Focus, focus, focus. Nicely chamfered. I used a fly cutter on this end to bring it to length. You know, let's put this on the workbench. I think we'll focus better. Give you a little bit better focal length and contrast. It's hard. The lighting in this shop with shiny objects really screws with autofocus. But see, we've got two of these now that are chamfered and look nice, matching 100-degree V blocks. We've got the center section I sliced out. Now this is going to, I'm going to do this stuff off camera. Every step and setup I do with this has already been done on these two guys. I really don't feel like repeating it. But I will give you a clue as to what's happening on our next project. You see where I put that piece of stock. It's still on the lathe. But we've got a nice round bar, and my only clue for those of you who can guess is it's got a 5/8 inch hole in it, and we're going to cut 9 splines into it. So if you're really familiar with Bridgeports, you'll know exactly what I'm doing. But if you're not, it'll be a fun thought process, and let's see you guys guess in the comments what we're up to.